The Army 10 miler is an event that is it's very precious to me. It's an honor to run in it, to represent our installation, and to represent the soldiers that can't run and the soldiers that are deployed, and that's how our team looks at it.
Command Sergeant Major Kyle William Crump. I'm the Garrison Command Sergeant Major for Redstone Arsenal.
Dr. Harry Hobbs, I'm the Communications Relations Officer for the Huntsville Police Department. I'm a retired CW5.
Skip Vaughn, Public Affairs Specialist for the Garrison.
Robert Whitaker, System Engineer. I work for Cruise Missile Defense System.
Conrad Meyer, Systems Engineer, working for Apache.
Josh Dubbis, Logistics over at SED.
Brandon York, Engineer, Northrop Grumman Research Park.
I've done more than 18. I think it's close to 20, but I've been with the Redstone team that long. My first one, I was the first civilian on the Redstone team. Before that, it was all military. So it's been 20 good years.
Actual 10 milers, I have done one. Other than that, it was always like the 10K run and stuff like that.
I've run one Army 10 miler. Last year was my first.
This will be my sixth, so 5.
This will be my first year with the 10 mile team. I'm enjoying it so far.
I've run 2 with the team, and so this will be my 3rd one.
This is my 15th Army 10 mile. Besides my assistant coach, Skip Vaughn, I have been involved with the 10 mile longer than anyone else on the team. Of course, we're 2 of the oldest folks on the team, so.
Yes, it is. Really, I'm not very coordinated, so I started running track in high school, Butler High School, and I ran there about a year. And after that, I just took it up as a hobby, and I kept doing that at Auburn University, where I graduated, and I've been running ever since.
Yes, definitely. I golf occasionally, but running takes up most of my time.
Yes and no. I really enjoy golf, but running is kind of what keeps me going. I kind of like to play a lot of different sports, but running's an everyday thing.
Yes, I enjoy running. I also play softball and basketball, but running is the majority of my athleticism I enjoy to do.
Yes. Strictly running.
Yes, it is. I actually got into long distance running because I broke my leg. I used to play football for the Army, play flag football, play tackle football for the Army, and I broke my leg, and I got into long distance running as part of the rehab because I was a sprinter, and I didn't start long distance running until I was 39. My first Army 10 miler was 1990.
No, lifting weights is number one, and then and running is one of my preferred sports. After 29 years in the Army, you're gonna do a lot of running.
It's a stress release, particularly in these trying budgetary times that we're having now. It's a way to relieve stress and get outdoors, and it's meeting people. I really enjoy being with this group of guys, this 10 miler team. They're the best guys in the world. So hopefully we can win again this year and continue our winning streak.
I always wanted to do the 10 miler with the AUSA 10K run, a 10 mile run, but I just never went and done it. With my past job, just had so much time with being at work, going to training, getting ready for deployment, stuff like that. Just never had the time to put into it. And it's funny at the end of my career that now I'm going to go out there and actually do it.
I've just been doing it for over half my life, and it's one thing that I've found that I'm pretty good at, so I just continue with it.
I started running for fitness when I was in the Air Force, and now I'm a competitive runner, so I run to compete.
I enjoy the way it makes me feel. I love the competitive and competing against others, as well as myself. I'm always chasing my PRs, even as I get older. But I find that it's great cross-training for all other sports, whether it's baseball or even golf, tennis. It really helps out.
I just enjoy it. It's just one of those pastime things, just for fun. To stay healthy, I also like to keep motivated. I like to motivate other people to keep running. My sisters, they run with me, and my best friends, they do too.
It's a great way to stay in shape. It's a great way to keep your body metabolism at a high fat burning level, and it's a great stress relief. And also you meet a lot of great folks in the running community.
Run a lot of miles.
Mr. Hobbs, the coach in Skip, they got a rigorous program of practices and runs, things to do to get everybody up to speed to do it.
We run on our own individually, and then we run as a group on weekends. So it's not just the physical, we also train for the mental. The stress of getting through 10 miles, we want to have that mental edge. And most of us, we're marathoners, so we run beyond the 10-mile distance anyway.
I do these microcycles where I'll do in a 14-day period, I'll do 5 stress workouts. And on those, you can do anything from like a tempo run to intervals on the track, repeats.
Doing different kind of training runs and trail runs, long runs, easy runs.
Meet with the team on Saturday mornings for kind of some training run with the guys, and just try and stay in shape, stretch, eat right, and keep running. I started cross training more as I've gotten older, and it seems to help the wear and tear. So just kind of a regular program of running, a pretty good diet, and other sports.
Now you got to watch what you eat. You got to have a good regimen, strength and aerobic activity. Our folks, for our team, every team I've coached, I've been coaching this since 1999. I've been a part of 10 championship teams at 3 different installations. And yes, you need to find some folks that have some great running talent, but you also have to have folks that can gel together, that can push each other in training sessions. And you need to run many miles, different miles, whether it's hills, whether it's tempo runs, whether it's fartleks, 1 mile repeat sprints. And so there's a lot of different methods out there. And in the training program we've used here for the last 7 or 8 years, all of that is a part of it. And it's like a smorgasbord, and my runners know what they need to do to be the best they can be for that day. We decide on what their run time goal is at the beginning of the season, and then they'll train to meet that goal.
Very competitive. It's in my nature. I'm competitive at everything I do. Work, running, everything.
Fairly competitive, I guess, on the local, maybe even the regional area, but I like to think I am.
Yes, but I race about every other weekend.
Yes, not as much as I used to be, but yes, I do fairly well in my age group, and I kind of enjoy that. I run more for the fun of it and to stay fit, but that's what kind of keeps me going, knowing my age group people. It's rare I would win a race these days, but I can still get my times down. So competitive is a relative term. I mean, one of our team members is hoping to run 50 minutes. So if I can run just over 60, I'll be tickled to death.
Well, I used to be several surgeries ago. I'm on the team because I'm a coach, and I know how to bring the team together, and I know how to win. I have ran several races where my time counted toward the overall winning. The top 4 times count for winning. My fastest 10-miler time was 62 minutes, but due to Army injuries and several surgeries during my career, I still run at about an 8.5 minute pace, which I'm proud of that as a 53-year-old gentleman. But we have some world-class runners run 5-minute, 6-minute miles. and my job is to motivate them, to get them to be the best they can be, and get them to the race day on time, and to show that senior leadership, because when they see me out there, knowing that I've been injured and knowing my medical situation, then it really inspires them to be all they can be.
For me, it's just a hobby. I try to push these other guys, try to motivate them, and try to get them all to the starting line. And I'm the oldest and the slowest, so I'm more of the cheerleader. And I just push these other guys to keep going. We've got some young guys who are pretty much national class runners. So as long as I can motivate them and we can keep our running streak going, I've done my job.
Oh no, it's just one, it's to stay in shape. Being in the Army, you got to do some running. And then two, I like to run. 4 or 5 miles is not an issue, no problem. 10 miles is going to be a workout.
We are very proud to represent this community. We appreciate all the support from MWR, from AMCOM, AMC, the Redstone community, the Garrison Command, and just all the AUSA, all the folks that get behind this team for us to be there. The soldiers that we work for, the war fighters, everyone on this team is proud to be a part of it.
The team has got a really good legacy of fast runners, and they invited me to participate. I was really thrilled.
Yes, I am. It's the best installation in the world. The military, the civilians, the contractors, the retirees, the family members. It's an honor to represent Redstone, and so we feel as though we owe it to Redstone to be the best that we can be and to be the best in the world.
Oh, most definitely. It's the best installation in the Army right now. And Redstone, we got a great team, great coach, Coach Hobbs, and these guys are talking about competitive. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose that title.
Very, very proud. It feels good to be able to actually run with the shutdown and all that, and I feel privileged having to be chosen out of many people in Arsenal to be able to run with them, and feel lucky to be able to go up there to DC and run against elite athletes and all that, and train with elite athletes.
Very proud. Just a huge honor to run for the team. Me being a contractor and not actually working on the Arsenal, I just consider it a privilege to be able to run for the Army 10-mile team. Harry Hobbs was very nice and let me on. So.
Extremely. It's I've never been on the team. Always thought about trying to try out and make the team, and I couldn't be more excited and proud and ready to run with these guys and kind of be up there as a group. These other 5 I've been up with were with different corporate teams and even as an individual. So I'm pretty excited about wearing the uniform and the jersey and running for the team.
Yes, I am. I'm a public affairs guy, a newspaper guy, and so besides being the team cheerleader, I also write about the team and take the pictures, and it's just an honor. So I feel as though I represent my profession and represent Redstone, and it's definitely an honor and a privilege to do that. I kind of, during the race, I get caught up in it, and I tell people first in the alphabet, Alabama, and Roll Tide and War Eagle, and so it's an honor to represent Alabama.
All in one. You represent Redstone Arsenal and the Garrison. You're representing Team Redstone, and of course the United States Army, because you got all the other forces out there and civilian run teams out there running. And it's a great opportunity to get out there and see some old friends and say that you competed in a AUSA 10 mile.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously everything we do relative to Redstone, we represent the Army, and being from Alabama, that's a big statement.
Yeah, I feel like representing Alabama, going up there, and it means something because everybody's after our titles as it is now, and us being an Army base, I'm glad that the Army people do, or the soldiers do what they do. Lucky for us that we get to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge honor. You know, a lot of guys are out there fighting wars and overseas and whatnot. And for me to, you know, be able to run, I guess, and sort of represent them, it's a big honor. Just it's a small token, I guess, of my appreciation for what they do.
I'm not Roll Tide, it's War Eagle. However, go the state of Alabama. Kind of want to keep the tradition going. I mean, I know this team has a storied and elite record of winning, and it's tough to do because the competition keeps getting tougher, but I'm really excited. Go Army all the way. I've worked for the Army, you know, my whole career since coming out of Auburn as an engineer. So my heart's in with the Army and of course with this team and our state. So I'm very excited.
Our team has gotten a lot of local recognition and some national recognition, and we know that. And with that comes responsibility. So when we start the year out, we know we're trying to defend our championship. But it's not just about winning the race, it's about the journey. We give a lot of community service. We help out with the community awareness for youth, the big youth event that I chair for the city of Huntsville. We work at the concerts, we'll pick up trash, we'll do security at different events, we'll be part of the race team at the 9.11K race. Whatever this installation needs us to do, we'll do the dirty work too. So it's about community service, it's about teamwork, and then the race day is just fun.
I live in southeast Huntsville, so we have a lot of hills out there, and that's where I do most of my training. The marathon is part of, the marathon course is in the southeast, so I run on part of that.
I don't have a favorite spot, but I run right off of Vincent.
Since I work on the Arsenal, there's a nice running trail that runs up the length of the Arsenal, and we do most of our training there. And there's a track on the Arsenal as well. We do our speed work. So all the stuff is right here.
Yeah, I used to be a big trail runner. I haven't had the time to get to the trails, but I actually enjoy off-road running more than anything. I've run here on Post Off-Road, Monte Sano Mountain up on Green Mountain. Right now I live down South Huntsville, so the Greenway down there is a special spot. I love getting down there by the river. It's very, very neat, but I like anywhere kind of new and different when I can get there when I'm out of town. I enjoy different places.
Just the trails of Monte Sano.
I like to run mainly by the Gunnersville Lake. It's just right up the road and it's very peaceful and relaxing and all that, and it's beautiful out there.
Well, I love running here on the Arsenal. I love running on the back 40 there, where all the directorates are. It's really wonderful. I love running the hills on Goss Road. This is a wonderful installation to run at. But I did learn early in my career when I came here in 2005 to not run around the golf course. yeah, that upsets some folks. But a nice running area.
I would say, well, my best time, I've done the 10 miler, and I'm ashamed to say this, but when I was younger, many years ago, I did it in 66 minutes. And I can't get close to that time now. That's about a 6-minute pace. But I just plowed along, and I'm just proud to be out there. So I guess the best achievement is the fact that we win every year. And so as long as we can keep that winning streak going, that's the highlight for me.
I did a 5K when I was in Berlin, Germany, and we actually ran in and out at Olympic Stadium that they had built when they had the Olympics in Berlin. And that was a great historical spot for me, spotlight for myself, running into the stadium at the end as they did in the early 30s.
I won the National Road Runners Club of America 5K Championship about 2 years ago. That's been the highlight of my career. And speaking of Alabama, I also have 4 Alabama State records.
My fastest 10K was over at River City Run in Decatur locally, and that's probably a highlight. I do Cotton Row every year. I've done over 10 Rocket City marathons, but that one just sticks in my head because everything came together. It was a great race. You know, having said that, I've run various, all the big marathons, Chicago, Boston, New York. So of course those are in there too. But as far as local, I used to go over to River City and know I was going to have a fast time and a good competitive crowd and a flat course. And really good weather. It was usually like 50 degrees, so that kind of sticks out in my mind.
The most recent accomplishment I have done was the first time I've ever actually had a timed mile race, and I ran it in 5:09. So that was the fastest I've ever timed a mile.
For my individual race, I ran a 3K race and ran it right at about 17 minutes when I could run. And I ran a good technical race. There were several young folks in front of me, and I laid back until about the last half mile, and I sprinted and won the race, and it was a big, large trophy. It was at Fort Rucker, so that was my day in the sun. But I was more proud of the technical race that I ran, and because when you run, you don't race against anybody but yourself.
I would say the Army 10 miler last year was probably my best, most complete race that I've done to date. Aside from the fact that midway I had a mishap with one of the Gatorade handout guys. They splashed me right in the face with a cup of it, and that wasn't too pleasant. But I had a very good race, very solid time, and I placed pretty well. I think I was 17th out of 22,000 people that year, so I was pretty excited about that. It was a 50:44, so it was a 5:04 pace.
During a running season, it can be anywhere from 30 to 50 miles to someone on our team will run at race pace.
I go 4 to 5 miles a day when I run, and I try to get in 3 to 4 times a week.
You have to run a lot of miles to be competitive. You have to have a base for your training. So the base of your training is built on mileage. So by that, gets you into about a 50-mile week.
Roughly around 65 to 70, somewhere in there. I've got a coach who actually writes schedules for me, and that's just the particular volume that we've been doing, leading up to this 10-miler. Really sort of training for a half marathon, and hopefully this 10-miler will be a good tune-up race for that.
About 30 to 40 miles weekly. Just try to build up endurance to be able to get the 10 miles, and I'm training for a half marathon and a full marathon in this winter, so I gotta start building up a few more miles on top of that.
So I try and average anywhere between 25 and 40. The reason is confidence. If you do the miles, you'll know you'll be ready, and it just sort of builds. It's like anything else. The more you do, the better you get at it. So the higher mileage your body can take and you can find time to run, the better you're going to be at it. There are things at a point where you get kind of junk miles, but even those mentally help you. My mileage has been down. I had an unfortunate accident with my baseball team. I actually coached and took a ball to the jaw from one of the kids in between innings. So I was out for pretty much 8 weeks. So I've ramped my mileage up. I was pretty happy with getting in 40 last week. And that's kind of a joke compared to some of these guys that are doing 50, 80 miles a week, and some of the elite runners that do 100 plus. I have done 100 plus week in my life, and that may be the only one I ever do.
I study running, so you work on your form, you work on breathing, you work on your foot strike, all those kinds of things to prevent you from being injured. So when you do all those things correctly and you run within yourself, then you can prevent a lot of injury.
I stretch a lot and I cross-train a lot. Don't stretch enough, but I listen to my body a lot more now too. If I'm kind of hurting a little bit, sore, I'll ride the bike or I'll swim, a little less impact. So that seems to have made a big difference. I'll also take time off if I need to. Oftentimes it's not more than a day or two, but that makes a big difference. So stretching, there were different opinions on it. I've always been one that stretched. I tried not stretching, but I tend to stay tight, so it works for me. time-wise, if I have time, I used to do yoga and Pilates. I think those are great kind of off-training exercises that help. But again, I don't have that kind of time, so I tend to run or bike when I'm not. I tend to swim or bike when I'm not running.
Just try to eat right, stay healthy. If you feel a little bit too sore or whatever, don't go the extra mile. Back off a little bit and rest your muscles. And I've been fine so far.
Ice baths. I love an ice bath. Just relaxing.
Before I run, I do like a little warm-up routine, just jogging around, get the blood flowing, leg swings, whatnot. And then after my run, I'll do maybe either static stretches or dynamic stretches, depending on what I did. I'll go home and ice or foam roll or whatever else I need to do. Ibuprofen, a good rest, and all that.
You got to stretch. You got to rest. You got to ice. Drink plenty of water. You got to drink a gallon of water every day, and just do a good warm up and do a good cool down.
We've won 6 straight years in the government agency division and 4 straight years in the all-comers division. So we're trying to get another double repeat championship.
We have 10 championship trophies, cumulative, since 2007. We have won the all-comers first place since 2007. And then starting in 2009, we also won the government agency. So 9, 10, we have, for 4 straight years, we've been double champions. So, and then we were champions in one division for 6 years. So we are going for our 7th straight championship trophies overall, and our 5th straight doubles championship, which has never been done, to our knowledge, ever in Army 10-mile history.
Again, it's an honor and a privilege to represent the best military post in the world, Redstone Arsenal. War Eagle.
Just it's great to be part of the team on Team Redstone and go out once again and be the voice and motivate the team, the younger guys when I say that, because they're the ones that's going to go out there and go for the gold. And I'll be there to back them up and do my part in the individual run.
Go Redstone.
Just go Army. Been training. May not make the goal I had initially set out for, but I'm going to give it my all. I always do. Try not to get sucked in too early with the fast guys and hold on. It's a fantastic race. Any newcomers are really going to enjoy it. I hope they open everything up, with this government shutdown. But yeah, I'm very excited to be on the team. Hope to serve them well and make them proud.
I would just, again, like to thank this community for allowing us to represent them. I guarantee you that everyone on this team will give their best, and we hope to continue to defend our double championships.